On May 10, 2007, an individual identified as Chad sent an email to Coast AM radio containing photographs of an unusual flying vehicle observed above Bakersfield, California. One of the images was captured using a mobile device and supposedly captured by Chad's spouse at a previous point in time, while the rest of the shots were supposedly taken on May 6, 2007. Subsequently, all of these photographs were uploaded to the Coast website. In April 2007, during a walk, Chad and his spouse observed a remarkably enormous and peculiar aerial object. His spouse captured an image using the camera on her mobile device, and several days later, a friend of theirs who also happened to be their neighbor kindly loaned them his camera and accompanied them to capture images of this peculiar object. They located the object and captured many high-resolution photographs. The vessel operates with minimal noise and has exceptionally fluid motion. Typically, it exhibits a leisurely pace until it makes the decision to depart. Then it accelerates at an extremely high speed and disappears from view almost instantaneously. Deborah McKinley, a resident of California, submitted a report to the Mutual UFO Network website on May 12, 2007. The report included 2 mobile phone images that were supposedly taken in Lake Tahoe, Nevada, on May 5, 2007. The photos depicted a craft in the air that resembled a previous sighting. According to their testimony, they observed an object in the sky at 7 in the evening around Lake Tahoe. The object was rotating and progressing at a leisurely pace. They submitted their report, stating that at approximately 7 in the evening, while heading towards their car to retrieve a jumper, they observed a mysterious object in the sky. The object in question was in close proximity, however. It remained at an elevation higher than the surrounding trees. The object was in a state of slow, deliberate motion, rotating as it gradually approached the right side of their field of vision. Initially, they were taken aback and perplexed, but stated that they had the inclination to capture the moment by taking a photograph, but noted that their camera was indoors. Consequently, they resorted to using their cell phone to capture 2 photographs before the object disappeared beneath the roof of the home. They swiftly circled to the opposite side and called for their spouse to come out and take a look. Upon reaching the opposite side, they observed the sight just as it descended behind a cluster of trees. Although the husband didn't have a clear view, he observed enough to persuade himself that it was an exceedingly peculiar object. They opted to embark on a leisurely excursion around the vicinity in hopes of catching another glimpse of it, although their efforts proved fruitless. They failed to observe it on the following day as well. As they were leasing the cabin for the weekend, they were unfamiliar with any neighboring inhabitants, but they were confident that several other individuals must have witnessed it. The object was highly conspicuous and had a peculiar appearance. They experienced a certain level of apprehension, but the husband appeared to be very unfazed by the situation. He exhibited a greater level of interest in it rather than fear. The object emitted minimal noise, with only a barely perceptible, indescribable vibration. Both of the eyewitnesses perceived the sound. However, they noted that it was almost silent. It followed a linear trajectory as it passed over the house, but as it appeared on the opposite side and descended under the trees, it executed a sudden and pronounced change in direction. The object exhibited precise movement, distinct from that of a helicopter or aeroplane. During their trip, they encountered an individual who was a few blocks away, and they approached him to inquire if he had witnessed the event. However, he responded negatively. Subsequently, they inquired whether he had perceived any peculiar sounds and sought to provide the most accurate description possible. In response, he expressed uncertainty, acknowledging the possibility of having heard something unusual. The movement of the mysterious object is commonly characterized as mechanical, resembling that of an insect. The vessel, devoid of sound, would leisurely drift and then abruptly dart to another location, only to repeat the process. It would manifest instantaneously and vanish just as abruptly. However, not only did the size and shape of the object alter, but the images themselves were also different. Contrary to the previously observed ultra-clear and ultra-sharp quality of Chad's images, the drones suddenly appeared to be mostly distant, blurry, and less crisp. An individual known only as Isaac uploaded a collection of electronic messages to Coast AM once again. Isaac asserts that he had the position of a scientist at a highly classified UFO research center. His emails included scanned pages from research documents that he allegedly pilfered, along with images and a detailed explanation letter. The message makes it apparent that he doesn't mind who posts the photographs and letters, as long as they use the materials he's provided. The document consists of approximately 12 pages, filled with some interesting content. Essentially, Isaac asserts that he held a position as a computer scientist in the Department of Defense and was enlisted in the early 1980s to join Palo Alto CARET laboratory. During his employment at a hypothetical classified facility situated 5 levels below ground beneath an inconspicuous facade in California, he was entrusted with a position of leadership. His primary task involved decoding the extraterrestrial language visible on the undersides of the wings in the photographs. The laboratory was operated by the military, with the objective of developing technology that could be patented, sold, and the resulting earnings utilized to finance other classified operations. Each chamber was equipped with guards, and individuals were subjected to strip searches while entering or leaving. Additionally, the brass enforced a stringent need-to-know policy that finally became burdensome for the scientists. Driven by a strong feeling of revulsion towards the management practices, Isaac, a few years after becoming a member of the laboratory, started pilfering documents by surreptitiously concealing them in his trousers and nonchalantly exiting the premises. Subsequently, he resigned. The idea of going public had intermittently crossed his mind, but it was only the images taken by Chad that ultimately motivated him to take action. In his letter, he asserts that the mysterious objects are magnified iterations of the anti-gravity apparatuses he developed at Palo Alto CARET laboratory. As evidence, Isaac sent a photograph of alien artifacts that he asserts he was involved in. When assembled, it is readily apparent how they form the core ring of the drone. This observation undermines the credibility of the CGI hypothesis. If an individual inserted a computer-generated drone into a shot, they would have taken the effort to create a physical model of it for utilization in Isaac's photos. Isaac's most interesting notion revolves around the extraterrestrial script. Initially, there was a lot of speculation on the internet about the language's nature. Oddly enough, every attempt to translate was unsuccessful. Isaac, on the other hand, provides a significantly more impressive explanation. He stated that it is a system of symbols, as well as geometric forms and patterns, that combine to create diagrams that have practical purposes. Once the drawings are created on an appropriate surface using a suitable substance and in the presence of a specific sort of field, they promptly commence executing the intended tasks. The individual suggests that if you were to write a phrase in this extraterrestrial language on a suitable type of paper and then place the paper on a table, the table would exhibit the phrase that had been written. Shortly after posting these mysterious images, along with his explanation, Isaac vanished. Mysterious laser captured by the International Space Station. High above Earth, where the atmosphere fades into the vacuum of space, the International Space Station orbits silently, a hub of scientific research and human ingenuity. While much of the data and imagery captured by the ISS contribute to our understanding of Earth and space, some phenomena observed from this outpost have left scientists and the public alike both perplexed and intrigued. Among these is the phenomenon of mysterious laser beams caught on camera, streaking across the darkness of space, raising questions about their origin and purpose. The first reports of laser beams being captured by the International Space Station's cameras emerged around 2010, sparking widespread interest and debate. These images and videos showed bright, concentrated beams of light, distinct from the usual cosmic rays or satellite reflections, piercing the darkness above Earth. The beams were often observed in the background of the footage, appearing as sharp, straight lines that traversed significant distances in the space of a few seconds. What made these laser beams particularly intriguing was their apparent precision and intensity. Unlike natural light phenomena, such as auroras or lightning, which have diffuse, chaotic patterns, these beams were narrow and focused, suggesting a deliberate source. The beams did not match the characteristics of known space phenomena, leading to speculation about their origin. The appearance of these laser beams captured by the International Space Station cameras led to a wide range of theories, from the scientific to the speculative. As researchers and analysts pored over the footage, several potential explanations emerged. One of the most discussed theories is that the laser beams are the result of space-based military technology. As nations around the world continue to develop and deploy advanced weapons systems, the possibility that these beams could be related to satellite-based laser weapons or targeting systems has gained traction. Such technologies, often kept secret due to their strategic importance, could be used for a variety of purposes, including missile defense, communication disruption, or anti-satellite warfare. The beam's precision and the locations they were observed in suggest that they could be the result of tests or operational deployments of such technology. However, the absence of official acknowledgement or confirmation from any government has fueled further speculation about the secretive nature of these operations. Another theory, more controversial but no less fascinating, is that the laser beams are of extraterrestrial origin. The possibility that advanced civilizations might be using laser technology for communication, navigation, or other purposes has long been a topic of interest among scientists and UFO enthusiasts. The beams observed from the International Space Station could be part of a communication network or scanning system employed by extraterrestrial entities, possibly interacting with satellites, spacecraft, or even the Earth itself. While this theory remains speculative, it cannot be entirely dismissed, particularly given the growing body of evidence suggesting the existence of unidentified aerial phenomena with capabilities beyond current human technology. It is also possible that the laser beams are part of scientific research conducted in space. Lasers are used in a variety of space-related experiments, from studying the composition of the Earth's atmosphere to measuring distances in space with extreme precision. For example, laser altimetry is used to map the surface of the Moon and other celestial bodies. Similarly, lasers can be used in experiments to test theories of quantum physics, measure gravitational waves, or study the behavior of particles in space. On the other hand, if the beams are of extraterrestrial origin, the implications would be even more profound, potentially confirming the existence of advanced civilizations beyond Earth and opening up new avenues of research into interstellar communication and technology. This slow-motion camera captured a fast-moving object. One individual in Tennessee uploaded an interesting video on Facebook, and it depicts a mysterious object visible in the background. The uploader is looking for answers regarding the identification of this strange object. The video commences with a hummingbird perched at a bird feeder, and as the footage progresses, an unexplained flying object becomes visible in the background. Despite its resemblance to an aeroplane or a bird, it is important to note that this is not the case. Hummingbirds are renowned for their elegance, but their most notable attribute is their remarkable ability to rapidly flap their wings. Researchers have reported that hummingbirds flap their wings at a rate of 10 to 15 times per second. Some other species of hummingbirds have been documented to flap their wings at a higher frequency. However, for the sake of discussing different viewpoints, let's assume a rate of 10 to 15 seconds. Upon comparing it to the film, we observe that the hummingbird flaps its wings approximately 6 times, indicating that the object in question swiftly traversed this portion of the sky in under a second. The owner mentioned that they did not observe any unusual occurrences throughout the time of the recording. It is important to note that the purpose of capturing this video was solely to document the hummingbird's proximity to the feeder. The uploader said that the footage was recorded by their uncle in eastern Tennessee, approximately 55 miles away from Oak Ridge. The footage was recorded using a mobile phone between 6 and 7 in the morning on Sunday, August 9th. The uploader added that their uncle has been capturing photographs and videos of hummingbirds that have been visiting his residence for an extended period of time. When reducing the playback speed of the film, they captured something that is really intriguing, especially when bearing in mind the speed at which a hummingbird flaps its wings. Mysterious bird explorations. Across the United Kingdom, a disturbing trend has been observed. Birds are passing away in unusually high numbers near cell phone towers. This phenomenon has sparked concern among environmentalists, ornithologists, and the general public, leading to widespread speculation about the potential causes. While cell phone towers are essential for modern communication, their rapid proliferation has raised questions about their impact on wildlife, particularly birds. Reports of bird explorations near cell phone towers have been increasing across various parts of the UK. These incidents are often characterized by clusters of birds found within close proximity to the towers, sometimes in numbers significant enough to attract media attention and public concern. In some cases, the birds show no visible signs of trauma, leading to questions about the cause of death. Various explanations have been put forward to elucidate the occurrence, ranging from the Earth's magnetic field to global warming, as well as the placement and testing of cell phone towers in certain regions. Interestingly, there have been reports of unusual behavior among different types of wildlife in the area after the construction of these towers. These results have prompted questions about the possible influence of electromagnetic fields and technological infrastructure on the innate behavior of animals. Furthermore, there are concerns regarding the wider consequences of these advancements on ecological systems and biodiversity. This theory is not merely speculative or far-fetched. Little Peckers, a website specializing in bird health, reported that in May 2018, the European Union-funded review group completed a comprehensive examination of 97 studies. The study determined that radiation emitted by mobile phone towers and broadcast transmitters poses a possible threat to the navigation abilities of insects and birds. Electromagnetic fields have the potential to disturb the magnetic alignment of birds, animals, and insects. The significant increase in electromagnetic radiation in our environment is mainly due to the widespread placement of cell phone towers and the widespread use of mobile devices. Although technological improvements have revolutionized communication, there is growing concern about their possible impact on migrating birds. These birds are famous for their exceptional navigational abilities, which rely on complex sensory mechanisms that include the Earth's magnetic field. This enables them to successfully accomplish their challenging migrations. The growing apprehension arises from the possible disruption caused by electromagnetic radiation on the navigational abilities of migratory birds. This has led to extensive research efforts focused on elucidating the exact effects of electromagnetic radiation on various bird species. Electromagnetic radiation encompasses a wide range of frequencies, including radio waves, X-rays, and beyond. Cell phone towers emit radio frequency electromagnetic radiation at the lower end of this range. These towers are essential elements of wireless communication infrastructure and have a critical function in transmitting and receiving signals that enable mobile phone and internet connectivity. Their emissions fall within the domain of electromagnetic fields, adding to the collective electromagnetic spectrum. Migratory birds undertake remarkable travels, traversing vast distances between their breeding and wintering grounds, frequently exceeding thousands of miles. Their capacity to traverse these extraordinary distances with exceptional precision relies on a combination of sensory cues, including the Earth's magnetic field, astronomical landmarks such as stars and the sun, visual points of reference, and even smell signals. Mysterious video of President Joe Biden. Recently, a video has been shared around social media featuring President Joe Biden with what appears to be a strange hole or impression in his hand. This video has been widely shared on social media platforms, fueling speculation, theories, and a quest for the truth behind the mysterious footage. The video in question shows President Joe Biden walking down from an aeroplane. At one point, he raises his hand, and a peculiar hole or deep impression is visible. The footage quickly went viral, with millions of views and shares across various social media platforms. Users have offered a range of interpretations, from allegations of advanced medical conditions or injuries to theories involving body doubles. One possible explanation is that the hole or impression is a result of a medical condition. Some users speculate that the hole in Biden's hand is evidence of a body double or a mysterious replacement, while others suggest it is part of a larger cover-up. These theories, though unfounded, gain traction in an environment where distrust of institutions and political polarization are prevalent. Pregnant Nazca mummy revealed. The specimen, known as Montserrat, was found with a body of fetal and tridactyl characteristics within it in the process of gestation. According to the translation, They were tridactyl, or having 3 fingers, just like the others that have been found. A few months later, individuals who found them returned to testify before the Mexican Congress, reiterating his allegations regarding the 2 extraterrestrial specimens he had initially seen and revealing additional research showing that more than 30% of the specimen's DNA is unknown or not from any known species. A group of researchers backed up these statements and have said that the mummified bodies are authentic. The fact that one of these Nazca mummies has been discovered pregnant for the first time indicates that they are real. The team has come to the conclusion that the study of the bodies are completely authentic from a biological standpoint and do not show any sign of being manipulated or manufactured in any way. 2 new Nazca humanoids have just been said to have been found, and strangely enough, their fingerprints are claimed to be entirely distinct from human fingerprints. After seeing the pictures, a lot of people said how much they like them, emphasizing how difficult it is to replicate a fingerprint, as many people have confirmed. A lasting impression was created by the minute features recorded in the photos, which let viewers realize how tough it would be to manufacture a fingerprint while also respecting its intricacy. In an insightful analysis of the Nazca finds, a user emphasized the unique bodily and biological characteristics that make each of us unique. This observation illuminated a new insight into these astounding results. Exploring the depths of these Nazca finds, the user underlined how important it is to acknowledge the distinctive qualities that make each of us unique. It has emerged from recent disclosures that the Peruvian government is the target of a potentially large lawsuit worth $300 million. The crux of the matter is the paucity of support Peruvian authorities extended to the investigators of these noteworthy finds. Rather of receiving assistance, the investigators have faced challenges in the form of taunts and discrediting remarks made by officials, who have even gone so far as to call them liars. The story takes place in a remote region of Peru, where local Aboriginal people discover an amazing sight, an unusual object partially hidden in the earth. After a close inspection, they find what appears to be the remains of an alien species, a humanoid form with strange physical characteristics such as long fingers, a big skull, and other characteristics that are specific to non-human species. Surprised by this discovery, the people notify the authorities right away, which starts a flurry of curiosity and inquiry. People are deeply fascinated by this finding, and scientists, researchers, and interested bystanders swarm to the location to examine and decipher the mysteries of this mysterious creature. With interest in the purported extraterrestrial being growing, a group of committed scientists embarks on a comprehensive study, digging deep into the specifics of its composition and physical attributes. They carefully go over every detail, paying close attention to the mysterious creature's hands where they find an intriguing find: a collection of fingerprints that are unlike any known patterns found in humans. This remarkable discovery creates a fresh sense of curiosity and poses important queries regarding the nature and origins of this enigmatic organism. After analyzing the alien's fingerprints in great detail, scientists have discovered complex designs with unique whorls and ridges that defy accepted human fingerprint stereotypes. Experts are perplexed by the print's puzzling peculiarity, which raises the possibility of an evolutionary lineage divergence or the mystery creature's completely different origin. The discovery of the unique fingerprints on the alien body ignites heated discussions and speculation among scientists, as well as the general. Skeptics raise doubt on the veracity of the claims, as well as the reliability of the investigations, raising questions about the authenticity of the findings. The strange fingerprints that have surfaced on the alien organism have sparked a flurry of debates, with different groups expressing divergent opinions. The discovery's proponents claim that the presence of unique fingerprints provides compelling evidence of the alien entity's extraterrestrial origin. In 1975, the Army Corps of Engineers published the Washington Environmental Atlas, with Sasquatch listed as an important animal. The Washington Environmental Atlas, also known as the Provisional U.S. Army Corps of Engineers Environmental Reconnaissance Inventory of the State of Washington, was published in 1975 by the Environmental Resources Section of the Seattle District Office of the United States Army Corps of Engineers. The 114-page book took more than 3 years to research and compile and cost over $200,000 to produce. The atlas includes official state of Washington maps, graphs, status levels, and reports on phytogeography, zoogeography, physical geography, and land use borders. In comparison to other species, some even had their own unique pages with even more data. Bigfoot, a fabled creature, is one of these local species that has been given its own space. Based on reports of sightings, tracks, and other experiences, one imagines an ape-like monster that is between 8 and 12 feet tall, weighs more than 1,000 pounds, and can walk up to 6 feet in length. Tracks displaying a big squarish foot, measuring 14 to 24 inches in length and 5 to 10 inches in width, have been cast in plaster. The Sasquatch, which is thought to eat mostly plants and occasional meat, has long hair covering its body save for its hands and face. Its appearance is strikingly human. Sasquatch can travel great distances in pursuit of food, housing, and other members of its kind, since it is a strong, powerful, and nimble animal. It is quite shy and seems to be able to sight at night, leaving little trace of its existence. Right now, the best proof of its existence is various videos and tracks. Despite being mocked, a short film of a claimed female Sasquatch that was shot in Northern California appears to be authentic. Washingtonians immediately interpreted the atlas's public distribution as evidence that the US government formally recognized Sasquatch as a real, living, breathing monster. The news went viral at the time, and pieces about how the engineering crops had finally acknowledged the creature's existence formally, something no agency had hitherto been ready to do, popped up everywhere. However, the US Army Corps of Engineers, Seattle District, and the state of Washington had different opinions. The Washington government went out of its way to clarify that Bigfoot was not an officially recognized species in the state of Washington, or in the United States for that matter, even if it did formally declare that the creature did indeed make an appearance in the atlas. The creature was considered little more than a local myth and legend. Although it sounds like something from a movie, scientists have just revealed that they plan on using mosquitoes like flying syringes, and said they will start administering crucial malaria vaccines. According to a recent report, individuals participating in a clinical trial recently had their arms enclosed in mesh containers containing 200 mosquitoes. The outcome of this experiment was quite surprising, as one participant experienced the formation of red, elevated blisters on their entire forearm, resembling chemical burns. Photos may possess the power to convey a myriad of meanings, and while photographs are certainly intriguing, the research conducted on this latest technique holds equal significance. Recently, a group of scientists from the Seattle Children's Research Institute, the National Institutes of Health, and other establishments shared their discoveries in the August publication, Science Translational Medicine, shedding light on the underlying approach behind the phenomenon. The researchers genetically modified the mosquitoes by introducing the Plasmodium falciparum parasites. Unlike previous attempts at creating malaria immunization using parasites, this is the first time this technology has been employed to modify the parasites in a way that allows them to carry malaria without causing illness in humans. According to University of Washington, Seattle researcher Sean Murphy, mosquitoes are like 1,000 tiny flying syringes that they will utilize in their research. Throughout the research, out of the total 26 participants, 14 individuals were exposed to malaria, and approximately half of them acquired the disease. This implies that the current effectiveness of the method stands at approximately 50%, indicating potential for enhancement. Contrary to expectations, researchers explained that the objective is not to release a large number of mosquitoes that protect against malaria instead of transmitting it. This proposition is certainly fascinating, but it would give rise to significant concerns regarding bioethics and medical consent. Rather than stating it outright, they have mentioned that they are simply investigating a potentially economical approach for creating and distributing immunization. A United States company has announced that it plans to release 2.4 billion genetically modified mosquitoes into the wild. The insects, which have been developed by biotech company Oxitec, will be male individuals that do not bite, and are genetically modified to only produce male offspring that are capable of reproducing, as stated by the company. The Environmental Protection Agency, has given approval for the release of 2.4 billion genetically modified mosquitoes in California and Florida. These mosquitoes, developed by biotech company Oxitec, are non-biting male mosquitoes that have been genetically engineered to ensure that their offspring are only male and capable of reproducing. Oxitec claims that this approach will help decrease the population of the invasive Aedes aegypti mosquitoes, which are known carriers of diseases such as Zika and yellow fever. Female mosquitoes will perish, whereas males will procreate and transmit the self-restricting gene to the succeeding generation, ultimately resulting in a decrease in population. Although these diseases are not currently being transmitted in California, the invasive insect has been identified as an escalating threat as their population expands throughout the state. Oxitec CEO Gray Franson states that due to the increasing health risk posed by this mosquito in the United States, they are actively striving to make this technology widely accessible. As part of this effort, they are conducting pilot programs to showcase the effectiveness of the technology in various climate conditions. These programs are crucial in achieving their goal of making the technology available to address the growing health threat. According to Oxitec, the mosquitoes will be equipped with a genetic marker, making it simple for scientists to distinguish them from other mosquitoes in the wild. The company states that the current experiment is an expansion of a previous pilot project approved by the EPA in 2020. Oxitec released 144,000 genetically modified mosquitoes in the Florida Keys during 2021 and also conducted a release in Brazil. They assert that after 13 weeks, this technology was successful in suppressing 95% of the Aedes aegypti population. Mustafa Daboon, an expert in medical and veterinary entomology and the general manager of the Delta Mosquito and Vector Control District, said that it's a clever solution, noting that rather than relying on human intervention to apply pesticides and eliminate these mosquitoes, they are harnessing male mosquitoes to carry out the task on our behalf. It's a battle between nature and nature itself. However, skeptics remain unconvinced about the absolute safety of the mosquitoes. According to Dana Pearls, the program manager for food and technology at Friends of the Earth, there isn't a concept of absolute effectiveness in science. Pearls questions the public's trust in Oxitec's experiment, expressing concern about whether it can guarantee the eradication of genetically engineered female mosquitoes. The question is, how can we be certain of its success? The opponents expressed their concern regarding the female mosquito's exposure to tetracycline, an antibiotic commonly utilized in agriculture. The use of this antibiotic may enable the survival of female mosquitoes. Supporters argue that mosquitoes typically do not venture beyond a 500-foot radius from their place of origin. According to regulations imposed by the EPA, the release of these mosquitoes is prohibited within a 500-meter distance from wastewater treatment facilities, areas where commercial citrus, apple, pear, nectarine, and peach are grown, as well as commercial livestock producers of cattle, poultry, and pigs. As of right now, there's many who are against this, and they've said that we don't know if there will be any side effects. Those against these genetically engineered mosquitoes have said that this is new territory. Nonetheless, skeptics argue that additional testing should be conducted within regulated settings. According to Dr. Robert Gould, the president of San Francisco Bay Physicians for Social Responsibility, genetically modified mosquitoes, once introduced to the environment, cannot be retrieved. Instead of proceeding with an unsupervised and unrestricted genetic experiment, he emphasizes the importance of taking precautionary measures, ensuring transparency in data, and conducting appropriate risk assessments. Mosquitoes are carriers, or vectors, for several disease-causing viruses and parasites. They acquire these pathogens by feeding on an infected host and later transmit them to other individuals during subsequent feedings. Because of this cycle, mosquitoes serve as a bridge for pathogens to move between hosts, effectively spreading disease across populations. Perhaps the most well-known mosquito-borne disease is malaria. In addition to malaria, mosquitoes are responsible for spreading numerous other diseases. Moreover, the threat mosquitoes pose is magnified by their adaptability and widespread distribution. Over 3,000 mosquito species exist worldwide, inhabiting every continent except Antarctica. Their ability to reproduce quickly and thrive in a variety of habitats allows for rapid disease transmission across diverse geographic areas. Different climates further exacerbates the threat of mosquitoes by creating more suitable environments for their proliferation. Increased rainfall provides more breeding sites for mosquitoes, leading to higher population densities and increasing the risk of disease transmission. Efforts to control the mosquito population, and thus curb disease transmission, are continuously ongoing. Genetic engineering has brought about a new epoch in biological sciences, with genetically modified organisms becoming more prevalent. While the genetic modification of animals promises various benefits, such as improved disease resistance or productivity, it also poses substantial risks to ecosystems. Genetically modified animals, if accidentally or intentionally introduced into natural habitats, could significantly disrupt ecosystems. These animals might possess advantages over their non-genetically modified counterparts, such as enhanced disease resistance or faster growth rates. These traits could allow genetically modified animals to outcompete native species for resources. Over time, this competition could lead to reductions in biodiversity as native species struggle to survive. In addition to outcompeting native species, genetically modified animals could also disrupt food chains and cycles within ecosystems. For instance, if a genetically modified animal occupies a crucial position in the food chain, changes in its population could resonate up and down the chain. This could result in population crashes or booms in other species, causing further imbalance in the ecosystem. A significant risk posed by genetically modified animals to ecosystems is the potential for the uncontrolled spread of modified genes. Once one of these animals is released into the wild, it is nearly impossible to prevent it from breeding with non-genetically modified individuals of the same species. Over time, the modified genes could spread throughout the population, a phenomenon known as gene flow. This could result in the entire population expressing the genetic modification, with unknown effects on the ecosystem. Moreover, there is the risk of genetically modified animals potentially accelerating the spread of diseases. While certain genetic modifications aim to increase resistance to diseases, they could unintentionally make other species more susceptible. If genetically modified animals act as reservoirs for diseases, they could increase the risk of disease transmission to other species, with catastrophic implications for ecosystems. Even the purposeful release of these animals could have unintended ecological consequences. As mentioned, genetically modified mosquitoes designed to combat malaria have been released into ecosystems, with the idea that they would outcompete the disease-carrying population. However, the ecological implications of this practice are still not fully understood. There are concerns about potential ripple effects on species that prey on mosquitoes and other unknown ecological impacts. Lastly, it's important to note that ecosystems are complex and interconnected. Changes to one component of the system can result in cascading effects that are hard to predict. Genetic modifications can result in unforeseen changes in behavior or physiology that could disrupt delicate ecological balances in ways we do not yet fully understand. The advent of genetic engineering has redefined the boundaries of what's possible in biological science. Although it carries the potential for numerous benefits, such as combating diseases and improving food production, the genetic modification of animals also raises several ethical and ecological concerns. One of the main arguments against genetically modifying animals is the ethical issue of animal welfare. Genetic modifications often involve the insertion of new genetic material into an animal's DNA, a process that can cause unintended physical and psychological suffering. For instance, certain strains of genetically modified mice used in scientific research have been found to exhibit higher levels of aggression, anxiety, and other problematic behaviors compared to non-modified mice. Such outcomes demonstrate the potential for unexpected and harmful side effects that can lead to undue suffering for the animals involved. The ethical implications extend beyond the immediate suffering of individual animals. When we modify an animal's genetic makeup to serve our purposes, we risk commodifying them and disregarding their intrinsic value as living beings. This commodification can lead to a dangerous, slippery slope, where animals are seen less as sentient beings with rights and more as objects that can be manipulated at will. In addition to the ethical implications, there are also ecological considerations. Animals play crucial roles in their ecosystems, and changes to their genetics can upset the delicate balance of these systems. Genetically modified animals, if accidentally or intentionally introduced into the wild, could potentially outcompete native species or disrupt established food chains. This could lead to unforeseen changes in biodiversity and ecosystem health. Moreover, we must consider the potential for uncontrollable spread of modified genes through a population once a genetically modified animal has been introduced into the wild. This concern is not theoretical. It has been realized with genetically modified mosquitoes intended to combat disease-carrying populations. Despite initial containment efforts, modified genes have been found in the natural mosquito population, leading to unforeseeable consequences. There's also the question of long-term effects. Genetics is a complex field, and it's impossible to predict all the consequences of introducing new genetic material into an animal. There may be hidden costs and repercussions of genetic modification that won't become apparent until much later, when it may be too late to reverse the damage. Lastly, the concept of playing God with the genetic makeup of living creatures raises profound philosophical and moral questions. It's just been announced that evidence of a possible wormhole has opened up at Skinwalker Ranch. Photographs have been shared by the team who are currently investigating Skinwalker Ranch and its anomalies. For those unaware, the Skinwalker Ranch, which is situated in the Uintah Basin in northeastern Utah, is an intriguing location, enveloped in tales and enigmas. It is commonly referred to as Sherman Ranch, and over the years, various individuals have come forward with strange reports, many of whom have detailed strange wormholes opening up in the sky and noting that they witnessed objects flying through them. This 480-acre property is known for its association with various phenomena such as mysterious aircrafts, strange entity encounters, mysterious livestock explorations, patterns formed in crops, and the presence of skinwalkers. Additionally, the ranch shares a border with the Ute Indian Reservation. The Ute were granted the Winter Valley Reservation in October 1861 through President Abraham Lincoln's executive order. In January 1882, the Uncompahgre Reservation, also known as the Ouray Reservation, was established, and later merged with the Winter Reservation in 1886, resulting in the creation of the Winter and Ouray Reservation. This reservation has served as the home for the Ute for over 150 years, spanning over 4.5 million acres of land. For many years, the indigenous people have spoken about how the neighboring ranch lies on the path of the Skinwalker, and as a result, they have been strictly prohibited from approaching the property. The Skinwalker refers to a malicious creature who can change shape, and the Ute people regard this figure with great reverence. The Ute tribe inhabited regions such as Utah, Colorado, and New Mexico before they relocated to the reservation. They were known for their fierce and warlike nature. In the past, the Ute and Navajo tribes joined forces to resist their shared adversaries. However, when the Ute tribe acquired horses from the Spanish, they started taking Navajo individuals and selling them in markets located in New Mexico. During the Civil War, certain Ute groups joined forces with Kit Carson in a military operation against the Navajo, which resulted in the Navajo being expelled from their territories and compelled to march to the Fort Sumner Reservation in New Mexico, known as the Long Walk of the Navajo. Although the Navajo tribe was eventually allowed to return to their ancestral lands in the Four Corners region, the Ute community held the belief that the Navajo had placed a curse on them for their past offenses. As a consequence, the Ute people started experiencing disturbances caused by the Skinwalkers. The Ute people have a long-standing belief in the existence of Skinwalkers, and these tales have been passed down for over 15 generations. However, they do not hold the belief that Skinwalkers reside on the ranch. Instead, they believe that Skinwalkers seek refuge in a nearby location known as Dark Canyon. Based on reports, Skinwalkers have been frequently observed by the Ute people in the region. These beings have been sighted near the ranch, along the road to Fort Duchesne, and in different parts of the reservation. One description paints them as human-like creatures with dog heads, while others have described them as being more wolf-like. Another account depicts them as big, black, hairy humanoids with remarkable speed. Witnesses have also claimed that these entities possess unusually large and intimidating red eyes. Additionally, there are reports of people encountering and capturing photographs of substantial footprints believed to be left behind by skinwalkers. The Myers family settled on the ranch in 1905. Initially, there were a few small buildings on the northwest corner of the ranch, located at the base of Skinwalker Ridge. Eventually, the original homestead was deserted, and a new residence was established on the eastern side of the ranch. From the 1930s until 1987, Kenneth John Myers and his wife Edith Myers resided on the property. Although no unusual incidents were reported by the Myers themselves during their time there, some of their neighbors did have experiences worth noting. During the 1950s, a series of peculiar incidents started happening in the basin. There were multiple accounts of unidentified objects observed above the property, and these sightings persisted for several decades. It is worth noting that this wasn't the initial occurrence of unusual aircraft sightings. The earliest documented mention of such sightings goes back to the late 1700s, when Spanish explorers, who were in search of the Spanish Trail, passed through the basin and reported observing strange crafts hovering above their nightly campfires. The reports of unidentified objects were numerous, with descriptions ranging from fireballs to aircraft of different sizes and shapes, including round, oval, cigar-shaped and triangular. Some of these objects were enveloped in a green glow, while others emitted red beams or displayed colored lights from underneath. The influx of calls became so overwhelming for the Utah Highway Patrol that by the 1970s, reports were no longer filed. Additionally, local ranchers also reported unusual instances of cattle expirations during the same period. Joseph Hicks, a retired science teacher hailing from Roosevelt, Utah, delved into over 400 reported sightings in the basin and uncovered an intriguing correlation between these sightings and instances of cattle expirations. Throughout his research, Hicks documented numerous accounts from eyewitnesses who claimed to have observed living beings inside these objects through the windows or portholes. In 1994, Terry and Gwen Sherman became the new owners of the ranch that had been left vacant by the Myers since 1987. They were taken aback to discover deadbolt locks on every door and window, both inside and outside the house. The kitchen cabinets were not spared either, as they also had bolts on them. Additionally, iron stakes and heavy chains were found at both ends of the house, presumably used by the previous occupants for their large guard dogs. The Shermans, accompanied by their 2 children and livestock, decided to make this property their new home. On the day the family moved in, they immediately noticed a sizable coyote, or possibly a wolf, in one of their fields. It swiftly advanced towards a pen where their livestock was kept. It proceeded to seize a young calf by its nose and attempted to pull it through the bars of the enclosure. Terry Sherman and his father attempted to free the calf by striking the animal, but their efforts proved to be unsuccessful. When their initial attempt was unsuccessful, Sherman resorted to firing at the animal with a magnum from close range. However, despite being fired at multiple times, the wolf carried on gripping the calf. Eventually, after a few more shots, the animal let go of the calf and calmly stared at the men. Surprisingly, there were no visible signs of injury on the animal. In an attempt to understand what had happened, the men pursued the animal's footprints for approximately a mile before they abruptly ceased, as if the animal had mysteriously vanished. This incident served as a hint of what was yet to come. A couple of weeks later, while Gwen Sherman was driving in her car, she came across a sizable wolf that had its back aligned with the top of her window. There was also a canine-like creature accompanying the wolf, but she couldn't determine its exact species. Throughout the following 2 years, the Shermans and their fellow residents witnessed a variety of unusual creatures within their vicinity. These sightings entailed the presence of vibrant, non-indigenous species, as well as towering, mysterious creatures resembling large humanoids. During an incident, the Shermans witnessed an unusual creature, reminiscent of a hyena, engaging in an attack on one of their horses. The creature was described as having a low stature, substantial muscle mass, weighing around 200 pounds, with red curly fur and a tail. When Mr. Sherman approached the animal, it mysteriously disappeared. Later examination of the horse revealed multiple claw marks on its legs. Several months afterward, a neighboring resident reported seeing a comparable creature dashing across their land. The Shermans, just like their fellow residents, also witnessed unusual luminosities and airborne entities, with over 12 sightings occurring on a single night. It was during these encounters with unidentified objects that they also faced the unfortunate demise or vanishing of 7 of their finest livestock. Out of these, 4 vanished completely, while 3 others were discovered lifeless. 3 of the deceased cows displayed an unusual anomaly, a distinctive void in the middle of the left eyeball, while remaining unscathed otherwise. Another bovine specimen had a comparable aperture in its left eye, accompanied by a significant 6-inch cavity, approximately an inch in depth, carved into part of its body. The final cow subjected to this act had been observed alive merely 5 minutes earlier by the Sherman's son. A particular cow among the missing livestock appeared to have mysteriously vanished from the snowy landscape. Its tracks led into a field, but abruptly ceased. The ground was scattered with snapped twigs and branches, and the tree canopies seemed to have been severed. Throughout this period, a variety of peculiar incidents transpired as well. It was not uncommon for pastures to inexplicably illuminate during the nighttime hours. Furthermore, there were reports of audible sounds resembling the workings of heavy machinery emanating from beneath the ground. Poltergeist-like occurrences, such as objects vanishing only to reappear later, were also observed. Additionally, eerie disembodied voices, frequently communicating in an unfamiliar language, were heard from above. Additionally, peculiar patterns of flattened grass, commonly referred to as crop circles, were discovered on the ranch. In May 1996, Sherman experienced a significant event that served as the breaking point. While outside with his 3 dogs, he noticed a vibrant blue object swiftly moving in the field nearby. Prompted by curiosity, he encouraged his dogs to chase after it. The dogs energetically pursued the object, expressing their excitement through barks, until they disappeared into a dense thicket. Sherman was alarmed when he heard 3 distressing yelps from his pets and realized they were unresponsive to his calls. The following day, when he ventured out to search for them, all he discovered were 3 spherical, greasy masses with evidence of scorching. Unfortunately, the dogs were never found again. After experiencing these frightening incidents for a period of 2 years, the family decided to share their story with the public. The initial reports regarding the bizarre occurrences on the ranch were initially published in the Deseret News in Salt Lake City, Utah, followed by a series of articles by journalist George Knapp in the weekly newspaper Las Vegas Mercury. George Knapp and Colm Kelleher later wrote a book that provides a comprehensive account of previous inquiries conducted in the county area regarding reported sightings, incidents involving missing and expired livestock, sightings of large animals possessing piercing red eyes that were unharmed despite being fired at, unseen objects emitting destructive magnetic fields, formations of crop circles, encounters with creatures resembling Bigfoot, and instances of poltergeist phenomena. The Shermans had intentions to sell the property, but before they could do so, they received an unexpected offer from Robert Bigelow, a wealthy businessman and is the founder of the National Institute for Discovery Science. He became interested in buying the property after learning about the events from a newspaper article. Bigelow acquired the ranch for a sum of $200,000, with the condition that the Shermans would not divulge any further details about the incidents that occurred on the property. Subsequently, he initiated the establishment of a comprehensive facility comprising advanced sensory technology, field investigators with doctorate-level qualifications, scientific experts, and round-the-clock security personnel. The Lockheed Martin SR-72 is a cutting-edge hypersonic aircraft that has generated significant interest and excitement in the aerospace community. Known as the son of Blackbird, the SR-72 is a successor to the iconic SR-71 Blackbird reconnaissance aircraft, pushing the boundaries of speed and technology. The SR-72 is designed to be a high-speed, unmanned reconnaissance aircraft, capable of flying at hypersonic speeds, which means it can travel faster than 5 times the speed of sound. This level of speed allows the SR-72 to rapidly cover vast distances and collect critical intelligence in a short period. The aircraft is expected to have a range of applications, including surveillance, reconnaissance, and strike missions. As of right now, there's very little that has been released about the aircraft, but in recent years, people have come forward and claimed that they've seen it. Interestingly, an image of a futuristic aircraft has just been released, sparking speculation among users and military enthusiasts. Although limited information is available from the image, it has been widely shared across groups that investigate mysterious aircrafts. Discussions and theories about the unidentified aircraft have been ongoing among users, and it's caused some to share their own encounters, saying that they believe the SR-72 has been tested above certain regions across the United States. Those who've seen the image have expressed skepticism. While acknowledging the genuineness of the image, they question whether it might be something other than a hypersonic craft. One user said that the object isn't an aircraft, but said that they perceive it as resembling a speedboat. Since this announcement, various people have claimed that they've seen this aircraft, causing some to theorize that perhaps it's already flying around in the sky. Black, futuristic aircrafts have been sighted now for several years, and there have been countless sightings that have been reported by eyewitnesses. But one of the issues is that most of these encounters happen during the night, when visibility is bad and camera quality declines, which means that gathering evidence has been difficult. Many residents in the United States have been reporting mysterious sonic booms, and when this news was announced, some put forward the idea that the United States may have been testing this new hypersonic aircraft, and that this is what people were hearing. Other people across the United States have said that they've seen stealth aircrafts in the sky during the daytime, but note that they are too high and fast to photograph. New York's Hudson River Valley has been a hotspot for years, with eyewitnesses coming forward with strange phenomena occurring in the area. Thousands of residents between 1983 and 1986 encountered these strange aircrafts in the Hudson Valley area, with them saying that the strange crafts were witnessed by hundreds of people as traffic on roads nearby came to a standstill, and motorists left their cars in order to get a better look at them. The phenomena that had occurred that night would return after a week had passed. Officer Andy Sadoff of the Newcastle Police was on routine patrol when he also claimed to have witnessed the craft, describing it as being black in color and looking futuristic. Back in 1991, residents located in Southern California heard a series of unusual sonic booms, and interestingly, the United States Geological Survey even picked them up on their sensors. NASA and the Air Force came forward and said that it wasn't their SR-71 Blackbird, as it was not operating on the day the booms were heard. Former NASA sonic boom expert Dom Maglieri, who went on to study the sonic boom data at the California Institute of Technology, said that the data showed that this craft was at an altitude of around 90,000 feet and was hitting Mach 5. Mach 5 means it was going 6,100 kilometers per hour, or 3,800 miles per hour. To this day, there's been no official answer for who was behind this mysterious sighting, and no military has come forward to claim that they were behind the reports. Lockheed Martin officials have confirmed that they are actively involved in the development of advanced development aircraft programs, indicating that these projects are indeed a reality. The SR-72 will emerge as the most remarkable aircraft worldwide, equipped with cutting-edge hypersonic technology. According to certain sources, there are claims suggesting that the SR-72 will possess the capability to hit targets worldwide in under 60 minutes. This aircraft, reaching speeds of 14,500 miles per hour, will function as a flight research vehicle that can operate with or without a pilot. According to Rob Weiss, the executive vice president of Lockheed Martin and the general manager of Skunk Works, there has been a long-standing belief that hypersonic technology would be available within 2 years, but this timeline has been consistent for the past 2 decades. However, Weiss assures that the technology is now mature, and efforts are being made by Lockheed Martin, DARPA, and the military services to expedite its implementation for the benefit of our military personnel. DARPA, the Defense Advanced Research Project Agency, released the following on their website. DARPA's Falcon Hypersonic Technology Vehicle 2 program is a multi-year research and development effort to increase the technical knowledge base and advance critical technologies to make long-duration hypersonic flight a reality. Data from the program informs policy, acquisition, and operations decisions for future Department of Defense Conventional Prompt Global Strike programs. Hypersonic data is collected through extensive modeling and simulation, wind tunnel testing, and 2 experimental flight tests. The ultimate goal is a capability that can reach anywhere in the world in less than an hour. Falcon Hypersonic Technology Vehicle 2 is an unmanned, rocket-launched, maneuverable aircraft that glides through the Earth's atmosphere at incredibly fast speeds, Mach 20, which is approximately 13,000 miles per hour. At these speeds, flight time between New York City and Los Angeles would be less than 12 minutes. The Hypersonic Technology Vehicle is a data truck with numerous sensors that collect data in an uncertain operating envelope. End quote. One of the defining features of the SR-72 is its propulsion system. It is designed to use a combined cycle engine, which combines a traditional jet engine with a scramjet. This dual-mode propulsion system enables the aircraft to operate efficiently at both subsonic and hypersonic speeds. The transition from subsonic to hypersonic speeds is a critical technological challenge, and the SR-72 aims to overcome this hurdle with its innovative propulsion system. The SR-72's advanced technology and speed offer several advantages in terms of military operations and national security. Its ability to fly at hypersonic speeds allows it to rapidly penetrate hostile airspace, gather intelligence, and deliver time-sensitive information to commanders on the ground. The aircraft's speed and agility also make it highly difficult to track and intercept, giving it a significant advantage over traditional aircraft. Moreover, the SR-72's reconnaissance capabilities are expected to be unparalleled. Its advanced sensors and imaging systems will provide real-time, high-resolution imagery and data, enabling analysts to make informed decisions quickly. This real-time intelligence gathering will enhance situational awareness and enable rapid response to emerging threats. In addition to its reconnaissance capabilities, the SR-72 has the potential to be a formidable strike platform. Its hypersonic speed and agility make it an ideal candidate for delivering precision strikes on time-sensitive targets. With the ability to rapidly reach any part of the globe, the SR-72 could offer an unmatched level of flexibility and responsiveness in military operations. The development of the SR-72 represents a significant technological leap forward in the field of aerospace. It is a testament to the innovation and engineering prowess of Lockheed Martin, pushing the boundaries of what is possible in aircraft design and performance. However, it is important to note that the aircraft is still in the early stages of development, and much of the information surrounding its capabilities and progress remains classified or undisclosed. The potential impact of the SR-72 extends beyond military applications. Hypersonic technology has the potential to revolutionize commercial air travel, significantly reducing travel times and opening up new possibilities for global connectivity. The lessons learned from developing and operating the SR-72 could pave the way for future advancements in hypersonic transportation. The United States Air Force initiated the creation of a scaled demonstrator for the SR-72 in 2013. However, there has been minimal public information about the progress made in developing this aircraft. Instead, the focus in recent years has shifted towards another Lockheed project, the F-35, which aims to provide the US and its allies with air superiority in future conflicts. Lockheed Martin has recently announced the successful completion of ground tests for an innovative engine that could potentially power future long-distance aircraft. These ground tests have been ongoing since 2013, when the United States Air Force made their initial announcement. The engine, developed in collaboration between Lockheed Martin and Aerojet Rocketdyne, utilizes a combined cycle propulsion system that combines elements of ramjets and rocket engines. This partnership between the two companies was established in 2006 to drive forward technological advancements in the aviation industry. Lockheed's Skunk Works is now rapidly approaching setting to work on a full-scale flight research vehicle to test the potential of the new engine platform. The FRV, which is expected to be about the size of an F-22, could potentially be a piloted craft, but may also be an unmanned drone. Their current plans call for the FRV to begin flights as soon as the early 2020s, followed soon thereafter by a full-size SR-72 demonstrator that will be equipped with 2 of the new, extremely powerful engines. This incredibly impressive Mach 6 marvel is currently undergoing testing and is expected to be showcased in initial flight demonstrations by 2023 at the latest. However, due to the secrecy surrounding its development, it is possible that it has already made its way into the sky without the knowledge of the general public. The development program known as the Son of Blackbird has been shrouded in secrecy for the past decade, causing speculation within the aviation industry. This advanced aircraft, which can operate without a pilot or with semi-autonomous capabilities, utilizes a unique hypersonic propulsion system. Its primary purpose is to serve as an intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance vehicle, equipped to gather crucial information at high altitudes. Lockheed Martin ATL is a division of Lockheed Martin Corporation, one of the world's leading aerospace and defense companies. The ATL facility serves as a hub for cutting-edge research and development activities, bringing together scientists, engineers, and industry experts to tackle complex technological challenges. With a strong focus on collaboration and interdisciplinary approaches, the lab aims to foster innovation and develop practical solutions to real-world problems. One of the key areas of expertise at Lockheed Martin ATL is in the field of advanced materials and manufacturing. The lab works on developing and integrating innovative materials, such as composites and lightweight alloys, to enhance the performance and efficiency of aerospace systems. These advancements have the potential to revolutionize the aerospace industry by enabling faster, more fuel-efficient, and environmentally friendly aircraft. Another significant focus of Lockheed Martin ATL is in the domain of autonomous systems and artificial intelligence. The lab explores ways to leverage AI and machine learning algorithms to enhance the capabilities of autonomous systems, such as unmanned aerial vehicles and autonomous vehicles. The research conducted at ATL enables the development of intelligent and adaptive systems that can perform complex tasks with minimal human intervention.
The ancient underground city discovered beneath a house in Anatolia. When you purchase a home, you rarely consider the potential of there being an underground city beneath the floorboards, and yet this is exactly what happened to a homeowner in Anatolia. Mustafa Bozdemir, a man in his 50s, inherited a house half a decade ago and made the choice to restore the estate, only for a subterranean city to be found beneath his house, of which 4,000 square miles have been thoroughly excavated, with more still to be seen. Anatolia is a region of Turkey. The country is known for its abundance with underground cities such as these. Cappadocia, one of its districts, has over 40 cities built beneath the Earth's surface, and over 200 villages have been discovered underground with actual temples, secret passages, and hidden rooms, and were able to host the lives of entire communities. Erciyes University has been helping the excavation efforts. Bozdemir has confirmed that the team working on the house have indeed found human remains on the site, which have been sent to be analysed. The project director of Guntas, a Turkish restoration agency, has spoken about the fascinating find, saying, "We thought that there might be storage space for food or a stable beneath the house, but had no idea that it was part of an underground city. The underground city that we found by accident during restoration begins a few meters under the ground and has 2 levels. There are parts resembling underground remains of settlements in Cappadocia. Wonderful structures emerged everywhere like an iron workshop and a loft." The mayor of the area, Mehmet Osman Bazoglu, stated, "We think that the underground city was active in the Roman, Byzantine and Seljuk eras, and other stone buildings there were built in the Ottoman and Republican periods." Mayor Osman Bazoglu has announced his desire to continue the excavations until they manage to uncover the entire city, and believes that this city is linked with the nearby towns of Gezi, Zinsadeh, and Turan. Clearly, the builders of the structure were vastly skilled in their craft, though modern scholars tend to wonder why the ancient peoples living in the area built these underground cities so intently. One idea is that of cultural beliefs or something more sinister, such as the risk of natural disasters, with researchers saying that these ancient cities are bunkers for catastrophes. Derinkuyu is the most prominent underground city with over 600 entrances, 11 levels, and could have easily allowed a population of several thousand to reside in its underground walls, hidden from the surface. Derinkuyu, Melik Gazi and all other underground towns have stables, living quarters, livestock quarters, wells, tanks where water was once stored, cooking pits and even ventilation shafts to cleanse the air and provide necessary oxygen to the chambers. Tombs and bathrooms have also been found in a huge amount of these places. Melik Gazi is far from being as extravagant as Derinkuyu, but its discovery nevertheless is a profound one that leads us closer to finding out the secrets of ancient Anatolia. Network of Amazon villages. Modern, advanced, remote laser scanners have revealed a network of ancient villages hidden deep within the Amazon rainforest. Archaeologists did know that there was a series of villages within the Amazon prior to this new research, but the advancement of geodetic technology has allowed us to deepen our knowledge, finding some new information regarding the locations and arrangements of various settlements, as well as the way in which they are organized. These new discoveries have been made through the help of LiDAR scanning technology. This tech has a broad range of uses. You'll find it within your iPhone, but it also has played a key role in archaeological discoveries, such as this one. One researcher on this project, Jose Iriarte, explained that even though equipment such as satellites were in place over the area, these roads and villages went undetected by them. This shift away from the classic archaeological techniques, namely excavation, has been a time saver, saving the need to physically dig and clear out these sites. The LiDAR sensors had been mounted on helicopters which scoured the sky, covering the area containing these villages, roads, and settlements. These connections save money, time, and labor of an excavation, despite this being the sturdy go-to archaeological method. This new equipment provides excellent opportunities for areas that may not be particularly accessible on foot. The new groundbreaking research that has followed since the employment of the latest technology is the dating of these villages. These settlements have been determined to date back between AD 1300 to 1700 and are seemingly positioned according to the stars, as they hold a strong resemblance to what is referred to as Native American space. Each village appears to be centered around what has been referred to as mounds. These villages appear to have anywhere between 3 and 32 mounds, some reaching 20 meters in length and 3 meters in height. Some of these have maintained a rounded shape, whilst others appear to be rectangular, increasing the questions about these mounds. Despite comparisons with other villages with mounds, we remain uncertain as to their purpose. Some have suggested they were simply homes. Some have suggested they were reserved for members of the community of great importance. Other explanations have included suggestions that they may be a religious establishment, or it has been said that these mounds could even be cemeteries. The LiDAR technology has also found roads connecting each of these villages. The majority of these settlements had at least 4 roads, main roads and secondary minor roads heading both north and south. As of yet, 36 villages have been surveyed. There has been a great discrepancy regarding the distance between each one, with some being miles apart and others just 3 kilometers away. The questions that have been raised after this discovery may lead to physical excavations to try and solve some of the mysteries we have been left with. We are struggling to piece together the puzzle, with too much of a gap in each piece of history. Now we know that an excavation may help to complete these unanswered questions. Whilst these helicopter scans are useful, we have to consider this preliminary research. The LiDAR technology has allowed us to locate and map out certain structures in dense, difficult-to-read areas, but there's still plenty of research left to go before we can find the answers to our questions. Female octopuses throw things at irritating males. Animals have fascinating behavioral patterns. Often, we might find ourselves surprised by how much we share with creatures of all walks of life. A recent study has concluded that female octopuses have a short temper with unwanted suitors and tend to get a little aggressive if it means that male octopuses will back off from trying to mate them. It is important to note that this study, which is still new, has not been peer-assessed by fellow scientists and researchers yet, which is a very crucial part of the process of confirming scientific research as fact. It is a preprint scientific paper. The research also revolved around octopus females in captivity, which might affect how they behave more so than they would in the wild. The investigation showed that female octopuses, once agitated by males, will pick up any surrounding debris, be that algae, silt, seashells, or anything throwable, and will propel them toward the male, which holds their disfavor. In the research paper, the scientists wrote, "Some throws appear to be targeted on other individuals and play a social role, as suggested by several kinds of evidence. Some throws were directed differently from beneath the arms, and such throws were significantly more likely to hit other octopuses. It's interesting to discover how different species females react to unwanted mating rituals, but to throw objects at a male in frustration is probably one of the most blunt ways for a female to state her disinterest. The act of having debris thrown at them makes male octopuses flee away from the female they are pursuing back into their safe spaces, and the strategy does seem effective for females who do not want to mate, as it successfully does frighten away their male counterparts. For this investigation, octopuses were taken from the Australian east coast, the Octopus tetricus, to be precise, in large quantities, and proceeded to be placed in captivity to be examined. In the past, scientists have noted that octopuses tend to fling objects at one another, but it is only with this new research paper that it has been confirmed that the majority of these debris flingers are female. Whether these female octopuses throw debris solely due to the reason of not wanting to mate with specific males, or whether there is more to it, is still uncertain. But it is believed that it has something to do with mating rituals and the female octopus's distaste, though, as stated previously, it might also have something to do with social roles and a potential social hierarchy in octopuses. But what do you make of these recent discoveries? Be sure to let us know your thoughts in the comment section below and help us grow this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.